Everybody, Eric Hendrickson giving you the Mortgage Minute for the week of March 24th. Well, what happened last week in the mortgage world? We had the big Federal Reserve Open Market Committee meeting, and as expected, there was no change to the Fed funds rate. But what they did do is talk about the tariff impact. There was concern that the tariffs could impact the Fed's kind of dot plot forecast and maybe force them to be a little more hawkish. But the good news is they acknowledge that the tariffs potentially, they use the word transitory again, which I know in the past that hasn't been a great experience, but they did talk about it being a relatively short-term phenomenon. It really wasn't something they were overly concerned with, but they did mention again that they were willing to be patient and kind of wait and see what's happening with employment and inflation before making any further cuts. Their forecast did continue to have 2 quarter-point cuts for 2025, so that really wasn't any of a change. So overall, pretty much business as usual, no big impact to the market. We did have at the end of the week Trump talking about tariffs and mentioning the word flexibility, that he's willing to potentially change that over time. So that kind of rallied the markets, and as the stock market went up, that does generally push a little bit of money out of the bond market. So we saw yields rise a little bit, and we're seeing that continue today here on Monday as the stock market is again continuing to increase and bond yields are up a little bit. So what's on tap for this week? We have the big inflation report, the personal consumption expenditure, the PCE, that comes out at the end of the week. Again, very closely watched by the Fed, so if those numbers come in a little bit under expectations, a little cooler than expected, that could be a nice rally for mortgage rates. So we're going to keep our eye on that this week, keep our fingers crossed. Have a great week.